First of all, it couldn't be your fault. When this life of mine will fall, it will always be my call. Trying to throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Why they throwing shade on me, like they ashamed of me. I thought, what age are we? It's warm outside, and we all want shine. Bet you nobody in the city could stay in the crib this time. Whoa, got pics on the way like a vacay. Shoot photo with the AK. Got friends by my side, trying to have a great day. And I wonder why they throw shades. Yeah, but it's all on me. Let them roam free like a European. Yeah, see me pick up the phone like I'm trying to haul a home, starting to act like E.T. Yeah, rock them shades, now they can't see me. Trying to run away, but I'm not speedy. Need no fake, I just want what's real, and I ride that way till I'm free. Yeah, this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. No rage.
Hey up.
Ah, yeah. How we doing?
All right. I'm all right. God, they come round quick, don't they?
They do, yeah. They do. Today's flew by as well. I don't know how it's got to 7 o'clock, but it has.
It's been a dirty, horrible day today, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Yeah. The last few days, it's just been up and down. So 1 minute, it's absolutely bright sunshine. 2 minutes later,
how does that happen?
Throwing it down. I don't know. Magic.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
I know.
What did we do last week?
We had Next Stop Everywhere.
Yeah.
And who else did we have on? Do you remember?
Hank and Marvin.
There we go.
Yeah, it was good one with Next Stop Everywhere. How they opened a new way where young people can actually do motorhoming and actually earn a living at the same time as well as seeing all around the country and all around Europe, mate.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, to have them both at 31 and 34, did they say, years old, and the full-time motorhoming around Europe, and they're happy right now is because Denmark's opened up again, so they can get back on the road. Yeah,
they tweeted that I think yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any questions? If you want to come on to the show, just want to send anything in, if you can follow me on Twitter. Caravans and Campers at SY45RP. You can get me on Instagram at the Motorhome Man, and you can also email the Shane, can you?
We can at the motorhomeshow at gmail.com.
And also podcast.
Yep, podcast. Just search the Motorhome Show.
Brilliant. Who have we got on tonight, mate? It's a fast one tonight.
I know. We've got lots of people on tonight. We've got the lovely Cat from Wandering Bird. Or the Wandering Bird, should I say? It's probably a better way to put it. Then we've got, it would be good. Then we've got, because I don't know if you know where she is in the world right now.
Below us on the screen.
No, it's not in England. So we've got another.
Well, don't tell me. What a surprise.
Yeah, I will do. All right, and then we've got Leon. So any technical questions, motorhome questions, get them in.
About 10 to 8. 7:50, 10 to 8, mate.
Yeah, about 10 to 8, yeah.
And we're going deep in tonight, aren't we? Bang! We're just going to do questions all the way through because we've got Mark from the Caravan Place on after him about 10 past 8, aren't we? Seeing how everything's gone since they've opened up. Yeah,
because Mark had some very good ideas about how to deal with coronavirus and customers and stuff like that. And everything that was put into place sounded very good, didn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. And then after that, we're going to get Camper by. We're going to get Aaron on, looking on the trade side as well.
Yep, which will be interesting to see how he's doing. Yeah. Probably similar to me, which isn't very good.
Amazon let me down.
Go on. How long this time? Is it next day?
Ordered football. About 11 o'clock in the morning. Said it'd be here before 10 the same day. Didn't happen.
Next day?
Come next day, mate.
God, you can't believe that's disgraceful that a package doesn't come on the same day, isn't it?
No, they could have kicked it. So I've got I had a chap on Twitter who sent me a couple of questions here, mate. Let me just grab it up. Gary Squire brought a caravan 2 months ago, and then it shut down with no reason. The company, I assume. 10-month warranty gone. The question I want to know is what happens to the stock? 100 plus new and used vans disappear over a weekend. Track my old van down to a few miles down the road. Well, they just go to administration, don't they? They just sell them off, really.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They'll go to the auctions or wherever, or they'll have dealers that they work well with.
Yeah.
That they'll trade on. So was that somebody that's gone under? Was that somebody that's gone under? Was that?
Yeah, Gary Squire. If you're watching, could you just let us know who it was who went under, please? And then he followed up with a second question. When you was at the auction, you had a couple of vans going through. What happens when they don't sell? Do you make a loss to get shut or swap with other dealers? I did a video on Motorhome auction, Shane, and I did mention I did have 2 vans going through. Do you want to answer that? Do you make a loss or get shut on? What do you do if they don't sell?
A lot of the time, dealers will probably put them through a second time or a third time, because I always tend to go by the way that if you don't get your best money, the first go is the best go.
Yeah.
So the chances are you're going to get the best money the first time round. However, sometimes you just get a different audience a month later, and it can have no bids in one and then more in the next. But unless it's very tight, unless somebody's really made a mistake, I doubt that they'll be letting it go for less. And to be fair, motorhomes at auction do go very high anyway.
So the last motorhome auction was March. I had 2 vans in. I think you had a few in, didn't you?
Yes.
One of mine sold, one didn't. And on Monday, just gone, they did a live online, didn't they, Shane?
They did, yes.
It was just cleaning up all the old stock, wasn't it?
That's right. Anything in Black Horse are still getting their motorhomes through, obviously, because of repossessions and so on. So that's not going to change. They'll probably stay online. Yeah,
there was 41 lots in 30 caravans and 11 motorhomes.
Okay, yeah.
I say, mine from March went through.
Yes, and never got a bid in March, but went well this time.
Never got a bid in March. Sold more than I'd retail it for, Shane.
I know.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
It was mad.
The prices.
It was.
Absolutely. Which one do you think it was panic buying?
A bit of that, but I also think that everybody is very short on stock because they are just selling quicker than we can get hold of them at the moment. So, you can't sell empty spaces at the end of the day, can you?
Oh, I'm not overpaying, and I don't think you are either, are you?
I might have to, otherwise I'm going to be unemployed next week.
Oh, I tell you what, Shane, I think we've got him. I think we've got him in 2 weeks' time. So everybody, get yourself on YouTube and search for Grand Adventure RVs from America. He's in Utah at the moment. We've got about 50,000 subscribers. I showed you the other day. Have you seen these videos, Shane?
Yeah, they look proper RV, American, on the road lifestyle.
Stunning.
Some of the places have been. Yeah.
Oh, mate, amazing, aren't they? You've seen the views as well. Where's that place that you said you've been to?
Oh,
Tombstone.
Oh yeah, Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yes, where they film a lot of the cowboy films. It's basically a live set where you just go in and it's a tourist attraction. Incredible place. It's right down south in Arizona, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so hopefully we're going to have him on 2 weeks today. We're just trying. Obviously, we're trying to work out with the time difference and everything else. I think we're 6 hours in front, Shane.
Yes,
but
that's right.
Yeah, his videos are stunning. He's the American version of Bob Mitchell.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll go with that. Yeah.
You know, Bailey started dispatching motorhomes.
Yes, which is good because we need. There's obviously a lot of people waiting for motorhomes, should I say, that they've ordered them even back in October last year, and the dealers will want those new motorhomes in so they can get them out and they can get the part exchanges in.
Yeah. Shall we do some shout outs?
Yes, we shall. Okay, so start with Gary. Good evening, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Lee, good to see you again. Available today. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Good to see you again. VW Adventures with Lisa and Phil.
Hi, Phil.
I'm not sure on this comment.
Intro music is Meggie.
Yeah.
I like the song. I like it.
Well, at least there's two people that like it anyway.
Okay.
Oh. Evening, gents. Hope you had a good weekend.
Regular there, Dirty Trucker.
I know, it's quite a few. Chris Borg, evening, guys.
Hi, Chris.
And so on. Dirty Trucker again. Hope your first week back to work was a good one. How was it then, Jason? How was your first week back?
It's all right.
Was it?
We did sold three vans. People very, very respectful, mate, of the social distancing. Really respectful with it. We've got it down to a T as well with social distancing. But yeah, really good. We actually shot a video on the Thursday on how to put a solar panel on a motorhome. So I'm just editing that up now at the moment. But yeah, it was good week back. A lot of inquiries as well. People wanted to come. So we were working on appointments just to get our heads around it. We've all split up, got our own section. But yeah, it's good. But we'll get into more of that with Mark and Aaron, shall we?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, Russ has got it right. How was it coming back out of retirement? I don't think you really stopped having said that, did you?
No, not with... Well, we got heavy on the social media, Shane, didn't we?
We did do, yeah, we did.
So we were still... We're probably working harder than we were going to work.
Yeah. The first couple of weeks was a bit of a lull, but then it just seemed to get busier and busier.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Joe McDonald, where are the motorhome auction in Kent? I'm going to be honest, Joe, there's very few auctions around the country at all. And
there's two I know of.
Yeah, where's the two? Obviously, you've got BCA Nottingham, which is obviously limited right now.
Yeah. And also, it's in Gloucester. I think it's Black Star, Blue Star Auction. Something. They do a lot of commercial vehicles, and they'll probably have about a dozen caravans and motorhomes. So for me and you, it wouldn't be worth a while going down to them because they haven't got the stock in there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
if you know
the main one is at BCA Nottingham.
Yeah.
Available today. Rising values told you guys there's a shortage, and he did say that. To be fair, he did say that they could go up, and I think they probably have done.
Still ain't convinced, mate. Still ain't convinced.
But it's going to take a long time for these dealers to get the stock back in again. Once this boom's finished.
So we'll see.
They're probably going to catch up for a long time.
A lot of panic buying at the moment,
mate. Gary Squire, company just stopped trading, didn't say whether they went bust or not. Website just shut down. Gary, if you can let us know who that company was, if that's all right, it'd be interesting to see who it was, because I haven't heard of any. I don't know about you, Jason.
No, not at all.
No. Lee and Laurie, hello, Jason and Shane. Sorry, I was just watching one of your videos, Jason.
Thank you.
Double bubble with Jason tonight, then. Life Beyond Bricks. Hi, Lee and Laurie. Oh, talking to themselves in the chats again.
You haven't picked that up yet, have you? Because you're not concentrating, Shane. That's why.
I know. I'm reading Bob here. Look, didn't know I had an American doppelganger as well.
It says American version of Bob Earnshaw. Watch him. Grand Adventures, Bob. Brilliant. The scenery and things are stunning. Really, really stunning. You're going to have to get yourself a drone as well.
Who?
Bob.
Oh, Bob. Is that what he does? Does he?
No, Bob hasn't got a drone. That's why I said
no.
A drone. Yeah, he's got a drone. He goes all up and everything. And then where they park up. What they do, the last video I saw him do, they'd found a road that's not on any of the maps. It had just been built because they were doing some tunnel. And so they went along this road. And it was by this creek and everything. And they stopped off. But yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really good.
Yeah, I'll have to watch a few of them. For sure. Phil Bunt, evening, guys. Do you know when campsites around GB opening soon? As far as I'm aware, Phil, England is the 4th of July. Scotland,
it's not official yet, but that's
no. That's what they're aiming at. Yeah. Scotland, not a clue. To be honest, can't find anything. I looked again earlier. Wales is 26th of September as it stands, but they're reviewing that every 3 weeks. So that's all I've got for you now. Anthony Jarvis, a couple of weeks ago, I asked if NEC had been cancelled so far. And then below he says, doesn't appear to have been. I guess it's too early to be cancelled, and a lot of the dealers and manufacturers won't want to pull out unless they really, really have to, because there's so many motorhomes sold at that show.
It's still a while away, though, isn't it? So they can hang on for a bit, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've got 4 months left, haven't we?
Yeah.
We haven't got a while yet. Shoreham Vehicle Auctions trickle some motorhomes through a couple of months near to Brighton. Yeah, I think I've seen that, actually. I think I watched one go through a couple of months ago, and I did sign up to that.
In fairness, though, the only real place that just does do bulk amount where we're talking 50 to 100 units is BCA, Nottingham and Chain.
Yeah. Or was. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Gary Brown, Forefront. We had Jason on from Forefront the other week. This is his. I won't say that. This is his boss.
Is it Gary?
It is Gary. Yeah, hey, Gary Brown.
Gary.
Yeah.
He's a great chap, isn't he? What a great guy. Oh, I wish we could get him on, because it'd be a great conversation we could have with him, Really. I'm going to mother him again, I think. But yeah.
I know. No.
Oh, that's me. That's Gary's on. Oh.
Forefront sold 22 motorhomes this week, a record. There will be no stock left at this rate, and that's the issue. And it's going to take a long time to get the dealers back up stock again.
Bragging rights there, isn't there?
Yeah. Motorhome shows taking place at Stratford upon Avon, New Forest and Exeter, Stratford Racecourse Outdoor show 3rd to the 5th of July.
I wouldn't like to be into that one, would you?
I don't know how you can. I really don't know how you can, because you can't just have 200 people just walking in and out of vans at a show on a day. No, I'm not. I don't know their show. No, I don't either. Available today. Remember, NEC is a hospital currently, which it is.
I don't think there's anybody.
I know. No, I think they have dismantled some of them, but obviously it's all there, ready in place for if or when it does go again. So we'll see. Right, just a couple more shout-outs before. So what do you think of the Bailey Approach 760 SE, Jason?
I haven't got a clue.
Which is the 6th berth over cab. They were the earliest 6 berths that came out on the early days.
Mate, you know more about them than me. You're a walking encyclopedia.
I mean, what do you think of the early Baileys? I'm a big fan of the Baileys personally. I like the extra width on them. Yeah.
Always like the
Caravan. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I don't come across the Caravans very much, but the motorhomes, I just really like that wide body on them. Just gives you the, just gives you that extra space.
They are one of my favourite vans, favourite British van.
Yeah.
I do like them, mate. I always have.
Yeah. Right, 2 more. Jill Tate, I bought a motorhome from Forefront last year. Really happy with it. It's good to hear.
Good.
And now I watch all of Jason's vlogs to understand how everything works. Thanks, Jason.
Oh, right. Thanks, Gary. You could have done an handover. No worries.
Yeah. Right. Should we bring on Kat?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Are you ready, Kat? Yeah, we're ready.
Hang on. Push back to go wine. 2 seconds.
The last time we saw you was at a little auto trail. Do you remember?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you which one it was, but I remember bumping into you and randomly shoving a camera in your face.
My favourite little camper van at the show, that was.
Was it?
What was it, Shane?
Oh, it was the Auto Trail Tribute F62, little 2-berth, 4-berth on a Ford.
And the bed came down.
It came down, yeah. It was brilliant. It was a great layout.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the shows?
I find them quite overwhelming. I love wandering around and walking in and out motorhomes. That's one of my favourite things to do. The problem is I started a YouTube channel and a blog. I have to then film it and I have to think about what I'm doing. And it's gone from being kind of, this is fun, to being, I've got so much footage and I have to edit it. And I'm rubbish at editing. It takes me forever. In fact, I've still got footage from the NEC show in February. I've still got footage from Croatia in October. I haven't done it yet. I'm just really slow.
I think that's what people don't realise, Kat. It's the editing, isn't it?
And I'm really, really bad at filming what I want to show. So I have 40 hours of footage from Croatia. And I'm looking at it in my folder going, I don't have 40 hours to sit and go through that. So
Yeah,
I need
there's almost two.
what I want to show, little bit. And yeah, it's a learning curve.
There's almost too much where you can't be bothered to start it.
Yeah, and that's where I've gone wrong badly.
So how did all this start then?
What, the motorhoming or the bad YouTubing? Everything. Okay, we'll start beginning then. So we got our first motorhome, 3 years ago, I think now? And we got it because we're both motorbikers. And we wanted to tour around Europe, but we took our teenage daughter with us. And hotels were getting expensive, and because she needs her own room now, she was getting a bit old to share with the dad. And we
What was your first motorhome? What was it?
We got a McLuey Tandy. Do not ask me any more than that because I can't remember. But yeah, it was a McLuey Tandy with the overcab bed. It was old. It was a 2003, 5, something like that. It was quite old because we had no clue if we were going to enjoy it or not. We'd lived on boats for 15 years. We knew enough about boats, and we'd never really liked the idea of this motorhoming thing. We didn't really know anything about it. We'd both grown up, well, my husband certainly had grown up with caravans, and that was kind of fun, but we were like, well, why would we have one? We've got a boat, what's the point? And yeah, so we put a little bit of money into one. We tried it out, we went to Wales, we loved it. Fell madly in love with it. And yeah, haven't really stopped since. So we took that one and we went up to Scotland. We learned how to wild camp, which was an adventure. And then we took it to Europe, which was hilarious because we had no clue what we were doing. And we did everything you could possibly go or do wrong. We went to the Italian lakes in the middle of August without booking anything because we thought we would wild camp in the Italian lakes in the middle of August. You can't. It's just don't do that. And we're like, oh, this is a bit rubbish, and we're not really sure we like this. And we're like, we're in a motel, we can move. You know how you book a chalet or a villa and you have to stay there for like your week or 2 weeks, we can go somewhere else. This is amazing. So we went up to the Swiss Alps, which was just fantastic. And we sat there sitting under the Milky Way, our first time I'd ever seen the Milky Way. And I said to my husband, I was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to. I want to stay out here and do this some more and go exploring. And he was like, well, how can we do that? I've got work. I used to be an air traffic controller. They kind of frown if you just sort of plug in from somewhere random. You kind of have to be in the building to do your job.
Could you imagine that?
I know. Wouldn't it be so cool? Hang on a minute. Bad Wi-Fi.
Could you just circle around? I need to stoke the barbecue.
Give me 10 minutes and a really good photo.
Can the Bowie just move? I can see you. Can you just move to the left, please?
Yeah.
You're blocking the Milky Way.
It would be awesome, but sadly they don't allow that. So you play the game where you're with your partner. You're like, oh, what would you do if you left a job? And you kind of build this amazing, elaborate life that's totally impractical. And that's what we did all the way back from Switzerland back to the UK, and we never stopped playing. And I found out that I could apply for sabbatical from work, and so I did. And they were a bit like, yeah, we're a bit short-staffed, we're not sure we're going to get at you. I'm like, well, whatever. Well, I sort of got myself in the queue. And then we started downsizing everything. So we had the boat already. We had a house because my mother-in-law was really poorly, and we were looking after her, and sadly she passed. And then we were left with this house, and we were like, no, we don't need it. It was rented, it wasn't our house. So we downsized hugely, and within 3 months, we realized that actually we downsized so well that we were already living on my husband's wage. And so we just started saving everything and buying stuff. We upgraded our motorhome, and yeah, then I quit my job. Which sounds all very dramatic, but was probably the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life.
So what did you do then? Just go?
Pardon?
What did you do? Just go?
Yeah, literally, I walked away with absolutely no plan whatsoever, which for someone who's a planner was just, no, it was really terrifying. But it's done all right. We haven't starved yet. It's been 2 and a bit years.
How did YouTube come into it?
How what, sorry?
How did YouTube come into it?
YouTube started It started initially as a bit of fun. A friend of mine had their own YouTube channel. I was like, I could do that. I'll film where we go, because we always like to travel. Yeah, it was a heck of a lot harder than it looked. So I kind of dithered around with it a little bit and put up some videos. And if you look at my very first videos, you'll see exactly how. The good thing is I've got better, just not amazing. And then I realized that I'm a heck of a lot better on the written page rather than on a YouTube video. So I started a blog. And it really frustrated me, especially when I went to Europe, how much bad information was out there and how much incorrect information, and then how hard it was to find the good stuff. And so I started sharing what we were learning, and then I kind of thought my friends and family would like to see where we were at on our mad adventure. No, they didn't care. But lots of other people did, which was nice of them. So yeah, I started sharing. And then the YouTube just kind of goes along with that. I'll be honest, if you want to know the most up-to-date stuff, either go to the blog or Instagram or Facebook. YouTube is probably about 6 months behind. Again, editing. But yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
So your blog's your main one then, is it?
Yeah, definitely. I put the effort into that to build that up, and I like being able to get it all out on paper and get it all out on straight and be able to share that with people. I'm much better on paper.
So where are you now then?
Right now, I'm in France.
In France?
One of the things we did when we had this whole crazy thing was we kind of figured that we weren't going to want to travel around in a motorhome forever.
Right.
And we kept our boat, which is hilarious because our daughter lived on it for a while, and now nobody's gone up for months. We don't know what we're doing with that yet.
Well, so
who knows? Maybe claim it on the insurance.
just
yeah,
we pick it out of the water.
So we knew that we weren't going to want to travel forever. At some point, we'd want a house again, maybe. And we also had a load of stuff, especially from his mum, that we didn't want to get rid of. So we wanted storage. And we looked up the price of storage units, and then we were like, but with the whole Brexit thing and everything, we kind of like to have a foothold in Europe so that we can travel. Because we find motorhoming much easier in Europe than it is in the UK. Even though I love the UK and there's so many amazing places to see, they just make motorhoming so hard. It drives me
crazy. In what way?
In many ways, they make it really hard to get close to places that you want to visit. Unlike Europe, where they actually kind of make it easy for you to park up a motorhome and then get into a city. You can get a campsite, but the bus stop's 3 miles down the road and stuff. It's just a pain. Partly, because we have the bike trailer on the back with our 2 motorbikes, we're too long for a lot of the places in the UK, because the UK doesn't have the space. It doesn't have the same infrastructure as Europe does at all. So it's not all the UK just don't care. A lot of it is they can't do a lot more than what they're doing. But stupid things like getting water and disposing of waste. Europe, pretty much every service station on the big main roads has a waste disposal point and has a tap that you can get fresh water from. It's easy. It'll cost you €2, but it is easy. Where do you get fresh water from in the UK? Like, you have to drive around 7 garages to find one who'll let you use their tap. We could do so much better.
How would you change that?
I'd make it so much better. I'd put waste disposal points in a lot of garages, because I think one of the things people want to wild camp, and I think wild camping is awesome if you do it properly, but why make it so hard for people to dispose of their waste properly? If it was easier, people, I believe, are generally conscientious and they don't want to litter and all this. I mean, litter's different, fine, but if you go to Scotland, go to the NT500, out of season, when the campsites are shut, it's pretty much impossible to empty your waste. Why would you do that? Why would you put in this amazing place, attract all these people to do it, and then make it difficult for them to do it? It does make a lot of sense to me. There you go. That's my soapbox for the evening. I'll drink more wine now.
So you're in France now. You didn't tell us about why you're in France.
Oh yeah, sorry. So we bought a really, really, really rundown place in France. Basically, it's a storage unit and as a retirement place, and to give us a foothold in Europe should we need it, because nobody really knows what the laws are going to be once we properly leave and how long we're going to have to travel. And we hope that by having the base here, we'll get a bit longer in Europe. So it had no electric, it had no water, it was literally just a parking space, which was really helpful as well. When my husband goes back to the UK for work, it gives us somewhere safe if we happen to be nearby. He's left me all around Europe with the dog, just sort of shoved in a corner somewhere with the van. But it's quite nice to be able to come back. And who knew 2 years ago that, like, right now, it's been an absolute godsend. And we've been able to do it up and stuff, which has been kind of fun. But yeah, who knew that was going to be a good thing?
You've had no excuse, have you? You've got 3 months to do it up.
I'm painting and all sorts. It's like a real thing now.
How have you found lockdown then?
Lockdown has been, it's been tough from a personal point of view because we are used to traveling a lot and we're used to going somewhere. Physically, we're fine. And when you look at like the doctors and the nurses and the effort they've gone in, for me to say it's tough is pathetic because honestly, we haven't done much other than stay still. But yeah, it's been difficult, and it's been difficult when we're used to living quite freely and like, yeah, let's go here, or oh, we've got 2 weeks, let's go Croatia or something, to not being able to do that. And that's been quite tough personally, and we're going to the Pyrenees tomorrow and I'm so excited. I know, I'm ridiculous, I'm buzzing. That might be the wine. But yeah, it's good.
Is it your birthday this week?
It's my birthday on Tuesday, yeah.
Ooh, well, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And I had a quick look on your YouTube channel. You're doing a giveaway, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you want to give it a giveaway now? Or
sure. So, Lifesaver, if anybody's heard of Lifesaver, they do this incredible jerry can, which I was really skeptical about, but my husband was like, oh, yeah, it sounds fun. Go for it.
I saw that early on and I thought, what a cracking idea. But
it's
if you want to,
brilliant. So again, totally skeptical. And as you can imagine, with someone, you know, we get lots of email requests like, oh, review our product, we'll do review this. And we're like, yeah. I got one once for waterproof underwear. I'm like, really? What about my blog says waterproof underwear? Anyway, so they sent this thing through for this jerry can that you can fill up from a puddle or a stream or any water source, and it will remove like 99.99 lots of other numbers of the impurities so that it becomes safe drinking water. And I was like, really? And then you think about it, anybody who wants to stay off-grid, whether you want to stay in a camper van, a motorhome, whether you just have an off-grid house, whether you know, in a boat. Now, I'm not entirely sure how it works with seawater, but anything where you can't guarantee going to a tap on a regular basis, it's amazing. We tried it up a place called Tracimi, and I always pronounce that wrong, so apologies, but in the Italian Dolomites. And you're miles away from everywhere. You've got to pay to stay up there. And we're like, we'll not go back down to fill up the water tank. So we filled it up from this mountain stream. Now, fine, it was a mountain stream. It tasted okay-ish anyway. But you just put it through and it filters it all out, and it was fab. So they are giving one of those away for my birthday, which is nice of them. So if you want to get involved in that and have a chance to win it, you still can. The videos over on my YouTube channel if you want to get involved.
And how do you do that?
2 very simple things. You've got to subscribe to the YouTube channel, obviously. And then you've got to. I know, that's like a given. I can't think of 3 things, and I can only think of 2. So we've only got 2. It's really easy. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to or join our email list, which is at wandering-bird.com. You can click on pretty much anything and you'll click through to the email list, and that's really important because I'm going to send an email out at the end of the week. I can't give an exact date because I don't know what the signal's going to be like up in the Pyrenees. But at some point at the end of this week, I'll send an email out to everybody on my list saying this is how you join. And GDPR and all that wonderfulness basically means that they have to click a button saying, yes, I want to be in this competition. And that's it. But you have to be on my email list to get that email.
So if you want to win that, you've got to do 3 things. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to our channel, and get on the email.
Yes, 3 things.
No, you don't. But then when I saw it, I thought, that looks brilliant. What a way if you're wild camping.
It's fantastic. And it does something like 20,000 litres, which we worked it out. I can't remember the exact figure off the top of my head, but it's something like 8 years worth of water for a couple in a van that you can, because we used to, especially some places, we used to buy a lot of bottled water, and we're trying to be really thoughtful about how much plastic we're using and our effect on the environment and all of this stuff. And I'm sure we can do a lot better than we're doing, but we're trying to certainly cut down our plastic usage. And this is great. We don't buy bottled water anymore. We run everything through that jerry can. Not obviously not for washing or for washing dishes or whatever, but anything that we drink goes through the jerry can. It's fantastic.
What motorhome have you got now?
We have got the Swift Escape 685, and I love it.
How many motorhomes have you had?
3. So we had the McLuey Tandy, which was wrong for us in every single way, because we didn't know what we were doing. That was the second one, which was a Swift 496, which was brilliant, but it was too big and it was over 3.5 tons and I couldn't drive it. And then this is the Swift Escape, which is, we got it last year sometime. So yeah, those are Dolomites. That was amazing. Definitely go. Ah, my puppy.
Some great photos.
Thanks.
Really.
Yeah.
Where's your favourite place you've been?
Ooh.
And why?
Dolomite, possibly, because I didn't expect it to be so amazing. We did that on the way down to Croatia and Slovenia, and everyone's like, oh, Croatia and Slovenia are amazing. And they were. Slovenia was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, because in the national park, which is where all the good stuff is, you can't wild camp, and they're really strict on it, especially with a motorhome. A campervan, you can probably get away with it a bit more. So I didn't expect that. So Slovenia was a little bit more restrictive. Croatia was fantastic, and I want to go back. We didn't have enough time there. But the Dolomites, we thought we were going to spend like 24 hours there. We ended up spending 4 days around there just because it was breathtaking. Loved it. Norway was fantastic, but it rained for 2 weeks solid. So I want to go back and do that again. We're hoping to do that at the end of the year. And in the UK, I love Scotland, and I love Wales, actually. Wales is fantastic.
How long do you go away at a time?
It varies. A lot of the time, in normal life, my husband kind of has to go back to the UK about once a month to see clients, and then we try and see family and stuff at the same time, because our daughter's still over there now.
Yeah.
So we try and make sure that we're back on a fairly regular, or certainly he's back on a fairly regular basis. So we kind of do it in 3-week blocks, give or take. Now that might mean that we go somewhere for 2 weeks, he flies back, I stay where we are, and he flies back, and then we have another 2 weeks in that area. Yeah, normally it works out 2 or 3 week blocks.
What do you do? Just stick a pin in where you want to go?
I have a list. I have a great big long list of places.
Is that the bucket list?
We also have a map on the back of the motorhome. Like Portugal, we haven't been to. I've been, but not in the van. So yeah, we want to go back and do that. And all the white bits, we're just kind of filling in the white bits at the moment.
Brilliant. What favourite videos do you like to make? Because you've got a vast array of different videos I've seen on your channel. There's lots of different types.
Yeah, I think I've got 2 favourites. I like helping people realise that it is not as hard as other people make it seem. You know, you go into a Facebook group and invariably somebody will ask a very sensible question and you'll get 50 comments of utter rubbish back. Most of them calling them out, asking such a question, and it just drives me nuts. People make it more complicated, or they try to confuse people, and it drives me crazy. So I like the videos like, actually it's not that hard. You can do this. A little bit of common sense and it's fine. But I also like, she says, which completely belies everything I said at the beginning of this, I like where we've been, because my husband and I will watch it back like a year or 2 later and we're like, oh, that was so cool, really enjoyed that. And making it is almost like a little diary of where we went. But they're the ones that take me forever to make, so I'm really bad at those. But I enjoy them when they're done.
But it's there forever though, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's so worth it. It's just, I need to get better with them.
The last motorhome show, anything take your fancy?
So the last motorhome show was the NEC one in February, actually, and that was one where I did the speech on tour, which was hilarious because at the last minute they said, oh, bring your dog on stage, and we're like, what? So my husband had to run all the way around the NEC to bring him on stage. Yeah, it was crazy. So I didn't do as much looking around then as I thought or hoped I would. What did I like? I like the Swift campervans, and we almost, before we bought this one, bought the Swift, I want to say the 166 with a fixed bed at the back, and it's got a little dinette, but it's a campervan, not a motorhome. I can't remember. It might be a 166.
The Swift Select one. Yeah,
I think it's the 164.
164 probably. Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, that's the one that we almost bought instead of this. But the problem is because we spend so much time in it, and we've got the dog, and we both work, because the blog has taken over my life, so I'm calling that a job now. So I work and then he works. We can't work in the same space. We will literally kill each other. So we need the 2 separate spaces, which is what we love so much about our motorhome, is it's got the U-shaped lounge at the back.
Yeah.
And then we've got the dinette at the front, and it's perfect for us. We can draw the curtain and just pretend that the other one's not there for, which is useful.
Shane, anything?
No, I spoke to Kat the other day and she updated me. Yeah, we pretty much had this conversation for about 20 minutes, half an hour, which was nice.
Oh, so you had a show without me, did you?
I know. Yeah, it was nice actually.
So where are you off to next week? Is it Pyrenees?
Yeah, Pyrenees tomorrow.
Right. What's the itinerary?
I have no idea where we're going to go. We're going to avoid towns and cities. And there's something called the Cirque de something beginning with a G, which looks amazing. It's like a massive canyon thing with waterfalls and stuff. So I don't know. Check out my Instagram. I'll put some pictures up on it.
So Kat, what's the situation with France at the moment? What's the travel?
So
where can you go?
A week and a bit ago, we could only go, we couldn't go anywhere for a while, and then they raised it to 100 kilometers from your home address. And now they've lifted all the restrictions within France, but you can't cross the borders yet.
Right.
Although Italy is now open, so I don't entirely know if the France to Italy border is open, because I think that opened on the 3rd of June. But I don't know what the restriction is on going across, or whether there's a restriction on coming back or not. I'm not sure, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to hide away from people.
Have you got any plans for this year then, or
for this year after it all lift up?
Yeah.
We're going to have to come back to the UK. My dad was 80 in March, bless him, and I haven't seen him. So we're going to have to come back and see family. My daughter's birthday was yesterday. We haven't seen her either. So yeah, and then we were hoping we could do Ireland, but I don't think we're going to fit that in. We want to go back and do Scotland while we're there, and maybe North Wales, because we haven't done that properly. And then we're really hoping in October we can go up to Norway, but when the Northern Lights hopefully will appear. So back end of October, we might go up to Norway for a few weeks. And
I'd like to see the Northern Lights.
We've seen them twice, but just not with the motorhome. I really want a shot of the motorhome with the Northern Lights. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
they're spectacular.
They are. They're so, and I don't know why it's so quiet. It just always, we saw them in Iceland and we saw them in Norway, and the air is just still, and you kind of expect something, and there's just nothing. It's just totally silent. It's really worth it. It's cool.
Anything else, Shane?
No, it'll just be interesting to see where you do get to go next few weeks or next few months. And yeah, that shot of the van with the Northern Lights would look absolutely incredible if you got it right.
It would be so good. The problem is, because obviously they're not guaranteed, and October is a bit missed, but obviously the later you leave it, the harder it is to go motorhoming up in Norway. So we're just gonna have to sit there until we get it. It could be months.
Take you 3 months to take a photograph.
Yeah. Or we'll sleep through it or something ridiculous, but yeah.
You know how you say the European campsites are far superior than the England ones? In what way?
Campsites, not necessarily. I think the way that the facilities are set up in Europe. So I didn't necessarily mean the campsite. I'm talking
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the airs are better. Although the UK have got the CL or the CSs, which are very similar to airs, and then the UK's got Brickstops, which they have like France Passion or equivalent around Europe. But I think the campsites in the UK are on par to Europe. I mean, obviously Europe obviously has some better weather a lot of the time, but the actual main campsites are very similar. It's just they make it really difficult for people who want to move around to get facilities in the UK, and that is frustrating.
Well, they had Next Stop Everywhere on last week, and they did a video of Denmark and the campsites, and it looked amazing the way they operated. With
Denmark. And we wild camped around Denmark. It was brilliant, and you can camp right by the river and the sea and stuff. Yeah, Denmark's fantastic. Although Denmark's really flat. I don't know why. It reminds me of like Holland. I kind of expected Denmark to be more like Norway. Mountains and totally flat. We're driving like, this is odd. But yeah, it was good.
Well, we're having some comments saying, Kat, can you keep us all up to date of where you're off to and where you're going?
Of course I can.
And then I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It was.
So you enjoy yourself next week, Kat. Are you going to do some blogs on it or?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's so difficult to know what the signal's going to be like. But I'll stick some photos up on Facebook and Instagram, and when we go anywhere, and then at some point in the near future, there will be blogs and videos and stuff. I will get better at it.
Get editing.
I know.
So, thank you very much for coming on, Kat.
Oh, it's been good fun.
It's been brilliant, and hopefully we can keep in touch and maybe do a live from you there with taking that photograph.
That would be so cool. I'll have to like message you or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's done.
And then you turn around to talk to us, and you miss it.
I just get one of those, the Zoom backgrounds that you can get where you can put the Northern Lights in behind you. I'll just do that.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? A live from the
would,
Northern Lights.
That would be really cool.
How good was that?
Yeah.
We could have you and Rill.
In where?
You could be in Rill Shade.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Kat, it's been brilliant. Hopefully we can catch up with you sometime soon. And you take care of yourself, Kat.
Thank you, Fancy. See you later.
Take care.
Thanks, Kat. Bye. Bye.
God, she's been some places, hasn't she?
She has, yeah. What a life to live, eh?
Oh, mate.
Now she can relax and fit and have that glass of wine. I can see her in the screen below.
Just put them photographs up of the motorhome again, mate.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Imagine having a cup of tea there.
I know. Looks like these look like photos that Swift would take to advertise the motorhomes, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
That one's incredible there.
Isn't it just?
Yeah. Well,
I think when you've been to them places and taken photographs like that, mate, you probably do get the bug and just want to keep going and going and going, don't you?
oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right, shall we get some shout-outs out? Shall we? Because obviously we're going a bit crazy tonight. Can we get Lee up so we can get some shout-outs and keep it moving, eh?
Should we just wait a minute because he looks like he's ready to come on?
Oh. How are you, Lee?
Evening, Lee.
Evening, gents. You all right?
How's your first week back at work? Did you know where you were going?
Oh, shock to the system, mate. Really was.
You didn't work till 5, did you?
Beyond most nights. Yeah. It was nice to be back, though. Really is nice to be back. But
what were you up to this week, then? What did you have to do? What jobs? Anything odd? Anything what?
I'm services. Window
You're
replacement.
the ones, aren't you?
Yeah. I got 9 weeks that were postponed that I'm rebooking in. I've still got a few to rebook in. The problem is now, because I'd already got stuff booked through June and July, is trying to rearrange everything around so that I can fit, everyone back in, but not be traveling all over the place. So logistically, it's taken a bit of sorting out, but yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, good. So it's all mainly services then this week.
Yeah, services. Yeah, pretty much services this week. I had a window finally turned up that I ordered beginning of March. That finally turned up on Wednesday, so I went and fit that on Friday afternoon, so that was done out the way. But yeah, other than that, it's been servicing all week. And another week of
Where's the window from?
Leisure Plus. It's a Dometic window.
Right,
yeah, because it was Dometic window. I had to wait for it to come over from Germany.
Yeah, okay. And have you done many services this week gone? I mean, are they a bit more flat on the batteries and so on than they normally are?
To be fair, everything was pretty good. I had one van this week that had got a battery that was a bit iffy, but I think with a good charge, it'd probably be all right. But other than that, yeah, everything was in pretty good condition. What was on four motorhomes this week, and 9 caravans. So yeah, busy week.
So do some shout outs, Shane. I haven't shouted anybody out for a while.
Yeah, I'm just before we do, I'm just going to very quickly. We were talking about a fridge last show, and I don't know if you remember. He said it was a guy called David Orme that said the vents or the fins on the fridge had gone rusty. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I mean. So he's got a 3-year-old chassis on 630. So that's what the fridge vents have gone like after that sort of time. So they started to go
After
rusty.
3 years.
Yeah.
Crikey. That's
So first of all,
does he use it a lot on gas?
Good question.
Because I'd say what I normally find on vans that are 2 or 3 years old, because they only ever get used on electric, when I go and fire them up on gas, I can smell the coating off the fins and off the matrix. And people will come out and say, "What's that smell?" I say, "It's your fridge," because I've lit it on gas and it's just seems to be getting a bit hotter. Well, it does get a bit hotter. That's possibly what's done that. If he runs it regularly on gas, it could be that it's, with it being, getting hotter than it normally would if it was running electric, it could have just burnt the coating off a bit. I mean, that doesn't look anything.
We need to find that out, don't we? Be interesting.
Yeah, it's. I mean, looking at that, that's nothing really to worry about. Crikey, you want to see some of them that are 15, 20 years old, and you think, how's that even holding anything inside it?
And the burner boxes as well.
Oh. Take it out and turn it upside down. Oh.
And any awnings or anything fitted this week?
No. Move on.
I fitted a solar on Kev's Motorhome today. Last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So we shot it for a video. I've had a lot of people asking me about solar and how you fit them. So I thought, right, let's do it. And we'll do Kev's van. And I said, I ain't drilling it.
Should have done.
Yeah. Well, just keep going like that.
And just shout down and go, Kev, you're going to have to put a mushroom vent here.
How do you? And we just put the grommet on, the grommet with the wire going in. We just put it on, and we were just admiring the job, and it just went. The rain just come to time.
See, that's why I don't like doing panels and things like that outside. I got caught out a few years ago. It was an absolutely beautiful day. Fit a panel, pulled the cables through, secured all the cable entry box to the van and everything, and then the wind and the rain just appeared out of nowhere, and I covered everything up, but I think whilst covering everything up, it just dislodged the cable entry thing. And she rang me up a couple of days later to say, "I've got a bit of water coming in." I was like, "Right, get back quick before it does any damage." But yeah, that's why now I try not to, if I can help it, do anything like that outside. Anything that's put a hole in the van, I'd rather have it in the workshop.
To be honest with you, Leah, I will always check the weather when we do them. I was looking for the worst day to do.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Kev. I looked at the report. Possibility showers.
Yeah, that's not a good day. Then it's only a possibility.
Chester Copper Pot. Do any UK motorhomes have a Murphy bed in the back wall?
No, you can tell me what a Murphy bed is.
Lee?
No idea.
It's the beds that fold up.
Right.
Oh yeah.
against the wall. Do you know what I mean? They lift up completely.
Yeah.
Don't they tend to be in the
I-
ones that have the sides that come out? I think I've seen one of those, with the
I mean, the slide out.
Yeah, the slide
Yeah,
outs.
the RVs.
I think I saw one of those with one of those in once.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of any.
Yeah.
Now, this has been answered a lot in the comments, but Lee, Warren Blackwell, any tips on unblocking grey water waste pipe?
Grey water waste pipe.
That takes some blocking, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it depends what it's blocked with. I mean, you could try some boiling water down it to try it, if it's a lot of grease and things like that. If it was really bad, I'd be tempted to try, depending on where it is in the van, I'd try and take it off and do it.
Would it be the waste pipe coming out the waste tank? Because the only thing I'm thinking there, Lee,
yeah.
obviously,
the trouble is you get a lot
silted up, hasn't it?
Yeah, you get sediment sat in the tank. So when you open the valve to let the waste out, that's actually, talking of grey waste, that's something the Thetford that we spoke about last week, the new waste system. I actually looked into that. Thetford aren't back yet, so I couldn't get any more info from them. But I had a look at the actual setup of that system. I'll be honest, I'm not very impressed with it. I think that unless you're going to use that on a daily basis, that is a recipe for disaster.
Just explain it to us, Lee.
You basically, what happens is you'll have 3 separate tanks. You'll have a black tank, which is your toilet waste, your grey waste, and your mains water. Your mains water feeds all the tap showers, etc. Your toilet is fed from your grey waste. So you get the grey waste water will go to the toilet, mixed with some chemicals from another separate little box, and they will then flush your toilet, and then they go into your black waste, and then the 2 of them can be dumped into a drain that goes to the sewers, basically.
So the grey runs to the toilet.
The grey runs to the toilet. That's where I thought the problems lie, because if you're running grey water waste water to your toilet, there's going to be food debris and all sorts. Now, I think that's a bad plan, to be honest with you. But yeah,
I don't know that, Lee.
Yeah, it seems a bit of a strange setup looking at it. And the thing is, now you've got another tank to have fitted to a van as well. I think there was 3 or 4 bottles of chemicals that they reckon will last up to 4 weeks. I think it's one of them. If you were using it on a daily basis, living in it almost, then maybe. But I think for the occasional, someone just put on the comments there. I think it'd use a lot of chemicals, and I think, to be fair,
which you don't have to buy them off Thetford.
Yeah, and they're going to be Thetford specific ones. They're going to cost a fortune.
Yeah, I don't like I like the separation really of having a waste tank and a toilet. I don't like that idea of mixed together. I'm with you on that, Lee, to be honest. Yeah,
well, you basically pull a pump out the side of the van and put it over the drain, and then drain it off together, the black and the grey waste. Which that's fine if you've got you're on a site that goes to sewage. If you're on a site that's got septic tanks and things like that, I think you're gonna have problems with it. So we'll see what happens.
Also, a lot of some people do empty the grey waste anywhere as well, though, don't they?
Yeah. Some people. I mean, undo the tap slightly and drive down the road. Yeah, I've seen it happening. So yeah.
In a 4-berth motorhome, can the passenger seat face backward whilst driving? That's a good question.
I've never heard that question in my life, and I can't believe I haven't.
Is your missus driving that bad?
Yeah, I can't watch.
You wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to because the seatbelt wouldn't go around you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because the seatbelt's clipped on that side of the seat. So if you turned around, the seatbelt clip would be on the same side as the door.
You're on form tonight, aren't you?
Ah, Guinness. Brain food.
What we got next? What else we've got, Shane? Guys, we have a 3-way auto fridge, Bessicar E462. I turn the gas off when travelling. Is it okay to leave the gas on when travelling so when we pull over, the gas will kick in for the fridge?
If you're going to leave gas on when travelling, you want a crash sensor regulator and hose fitted. That's the only time you should leave the gas on when you're travelling.
There you go.
Do you always leave yours on?
No, mine's always switched off.
I can't see the point, can you?
No.
I think as Lee said last week, this with the engine running the fridge while you're driving, unless you're opening and closing that fridge door, it ain't going to lose.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw something else out to you here. Is you should really turn your gas off when you're travelling, and then when you do stop travelling, you shouldn't switch your gas on straight away, because if you actually look through the gas bottle, it's all milky. Am I right, Lee? When it's shaken, and that's all the bits. You've got to wait for it to settle, because if you're switching it on as soon as you've stopped, you're going to send all the little bits through. Well, you've obviously got the filter there, but you're going to clog your filter up, aren't you?
Yeah. The gas is obviously a liquid, and then so when you stop moving, it'll take a little while, 5 minutes or so, for that to settle.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going to get the fines of dirty bits of gas going through your regulator, and you get blocked regulators.
So really, truthfully, you should just switch it off. When you've pulled up, 5 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you're going to stop traveling and you want it to kick in, may as well wait 5 minutes and do it, really. I mean, the design of the crash sensor system is so that if there was an accident and the bottle and the regulator become detached, the pressure will shut them off automatically. But yeah.
That's the regulator where you have to, the little button where you have to press it.
There's a little green button on it where you press it in, and it has one on top of the gas hose as well.
Keep it going, Shane.
That was a very good answer, actually. That was a very good answer. I'm surprised. You've done well there, boy.
Is it just another way of making money out of the motorhomer? Sorry, Shane.
That's right. I'm guessing that's for the new system, the Thetford.
Let's be frank, whether it's Thetford, whether it's any other company, they're always going to bring products out. So you've then got to buy the accessories for it. So it's not just that. I think it's all through Lee, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember going to, I think it was Thetford, a year or two ago to do an update course. And we were speaking to the guys from there saying, why is everything just getting so technical in the motorhome and caravan now? And they said it's because they're starting to appeal to a younger generation. It's what people want. The older people do just want to go in and flick a switch and that's it, it's on. But you've got a younger generation that want to be able to have all the apps on the phone and control everything. I understand it's the way things are going, but it's just a recipe for disaster when it goes wrong.
There was a comment above, which is K-Yacht is my dream motorhome. Do you remember that control panel in the K-Yacht? It was one of the last videos we did at the NEC, and this control panel was like an iPad size. It was bigger than anything I have ever seen. It was incredible.
They're ridiculous, some of them now, and the best of it is when you turn up to it, that's why I normally go to the shows, is so that I can have a look at what's in the next year's motorhomes caravans, so that when you turn up on someone's drive as the expert, and they stand behind you and you're looking at a control panel going, how the hell do I switch that on? Because there's just such a range of them.
You swore there, didn't you?
No, not like you did when you rung me up and says, how do I work this Alder control panel? Remember that?
I just managed to find one of those control panels. That's the control panel.
Yeah, it's
nothing like I've seen before. I mean,
it is the way things are going.
Yeah. It probably is dead simple, but I just looked at it as I walked out the door. I was like, "Ooh, that's a bit different."
Yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah.
Simplicity is always the best way, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah. The thing is, when you've got all these extra bits added on, they all need circuit boards, they all need extra power and things like that to run. And people forget about that. And so, yeah. So rather than having an on-off switch, which might cost you 20, 30 quid to replace, you now have got to have a circuit board that's going to cost you 200 or 300.
And when all's said and done, it's still a metal box rattling along a road, isn't it? A potholed road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sue and me awaiting Adria Compact Do Supreme ordered at the NEC last October. Cat's been an inspiration. Our first ever van. Just learned now in from Jim R. Young. So he's waiting for his Adria Compact. Cat's been an inspiration.
Yeah. No, I mean, if Cat's put all the videos and they're good to learn from, a bit like what you do.
Yeah, she does. She does some really good videos, mate. Different types, from her travels to bits of how-tos and just everything, really. Yeah.
There's a comment here: no fridge, not lighted on gas. Is there anything more you need for that, Lee, to answer that question? I'm assuming there will be.
Depends which fridge it is. I mean, if it's a Thetford fridge, it'll throw up a fault code. That straight away will give you a breakdown of what the problem is.
Where's the fault code, really?
Depends on the fridge. It can be in a number on the display panel. If it's the binary type, if you press the center button with the two arrows and hold them all together for a second, it'll flash up a sequence on the temperature bar. And if you read which one it is from 1 to 5, and that'll give you a fault code.
Right. In order to get a flame, you need 3 elements. You need an ignition, you need oxygen, and you need a gas. With them 3, so with his fridge not lighting on the gas, 1, have we got ignition? Am I right, Lee?
Yeah.
We also, after that, then check, have we got gas getting to it? Or is it the burner units blocked, Lee?
Yeah, it's difficult to check. It's difficult to check with a fridge whether you're getting gas to it without separating the pipework. You don't want to be going in the back and shouting to someone inside, hold that button in, and then I'll just light a match or something like that. It is difficult to find whether you're getting gas through because
in the early days.
I've never.
I would never just use a lighter.
Kev, go like this. No. Swift haven't restarted yet.
Yeah, so it's recent. Teresa Timms, we have a Swift Champagne 614 on order, but Swift don't appear to have restarted yet. Anyone have any inside info? I mean, the only thing I can really say to that, Lee, is Bailey have started, so I can't imagine it's going to be more than a week or 2, would you think?
I wouldn't have thought so. Sooner the better, I hope, because they owe me money. I've got some invoices to put into them, so the sooner they open, the better.
That's fair enough. Jim, who had the Adria on order, look forward to chat sometime as we are off to...
As we head off.
As we head off, sorry. Off to Portugal. Should be nice when you can. Bob Earnshaw, the Swift command panel is fairly big. It is. I can remember that, actually.
Yeah. The new panel that Swift have got out is pretty straightforward to use. I mean, same with the Whale Ivan panel. That's pretty simple to use. It's just the fact that if you lose, the problem you've got with the Whale panel is if you lose pairing between your heater and your water heater, then you can't reconnect it to a new panel unless it's disconnected from the old one. So you have to reset each system. So that's the downside with all these fancy bits.
Lisa and Phil showing off. I've seen an iPad. They've seen it. I thought they had one. I've seen an iPad control panel in a camper van and a coffee machine that, at a press of a button, popped up from under a cupboard.
Was that the Carthago?
I could do with one of them in my van.
I know. It sounds pretty good, actually. I was looking down on it. Oh, yeah. Fancy that. Fancy that at home. I could do that at home.
Didn't the Carthago have a coffee machine?
Yeah, they do have the coffee machines that pop up out of different places, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jim should be with us. The Adria should be with us in a couple of weeks, as now is in UK. Thanks for the reply. So yeah, right. I think it's time to bring on Mark.
Right then. Is Lee staying going? What's happening?
Okay, let's just
Amazing.
do this last one just before it goes.
We know that.
How reliable is the electric drop-down bed on the Swift Rio 340? And do you think that there will be problems long-term with the rear door?
I've had two Swift Rios in, and God, that back door is noisy.
It's a good idea, though.
Great idea.
I love the idea of it with that rear lounge, because you can just open it up. It's a proper big old door, lift up old door, and you can just.
It's like having an awning, isn't it?
Up. Yeah, it's like having an awning, but it's just the way you could store bikes and stuff inside. You can just roll them straight through the back doors. So yeah.
Okay, Shane.
Right, Lee,
Go on.
Go
Go on.
All right. So we'll go bring Mark in now from the Caravan Place. We had Mark on probably the second or third show talking about caravans, and then a bit later on we're going to get Aaron on, who was on our first show talking about the motorhomes. So fire your questions in. This is the trade part now we're going to get talking about. So we'll bring Mark in from the Caravan Place.
Evening, gents. Evening, all.
You still right?
Just about.
Cheers. So, Mark, the Caravan Place, based in Wolverhampton, aren't you, Mark?
Yeah. Yes, we certainly are. Yeah.
How did you find getting to work?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's been sort of, I don't know. It was a lot of preparation, and there was no real government guidance to say what we should be doing. So I think we chatted before of it was a lot of make it up and do what we thought was right, and it's worked really well. Yeah.
You went the old way though, Mark, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What was it? Is it the whole way? I think it's just trying to make it feel safe, and sort of we've had two sides of the spectrum. We've had people that have been, do we need to come with gloves and masks, and are we okay? And then other people have, this corona, it's there's nothing there. It's just all hype on the. It's like, well, we've got to cater for everybody, but like I said before, I think if I do it for what I would want to see, if I was going somewhere, you can't really go wrong then, can you? I hope. So we just do.
I have found everybody pretty respectful that have visited us, Mark.
Yeah, we've had a few that aren't, and it's just you sort of have to remind them that hang on a minute, have you not seen what's going on in the news and what's out there? And but on the whole, 95% everyone's been sort of sensible and respectful, but we have just had the odd one or two, and it was funny on. We actually opened back up on the 18th of May. We got guidance from the council that said 18th of May you can
actually
open.
rang them, didn't you?
Yeah. They did a seminar online. South Council have been really, really good, to be fair. We got in touch with them after that. They then phoned me back, actually, which was rare.
Fair play.
They were really, really good. Went the whole 9 yards and sort of said, this is what we want to see. So I went through everything we'd done, and she said, you've gone way past above and beyond what you need to do. So yeah, get the doors open, get people in. And they'd sort of advised that we could just literally open the gates, open up, let everybody in. And And I thought, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to do appointment only. We're going to try and monitor who's coming on. At least then we've not got families and all integrating and walking into vans while other people are there. And for the first 10 days, it was absolutely fantastic. But sort of, I think we'd spoke on just before the first, and it was like, oh, what's going to happen now, sort of thing. Now more people know that we're open. Are we just going to see every man and his dog, and they're all just going to come out for something to do? And to be fair, we didn't. We got people that were genuinely looking, but we did have a lot of people that first probably 5 days that would come in and sort of going, oh, we've just come to have a look, and we were saying, and listen, if you've not got an appointment, sorry, you've got to book an appointment. And from a business point of view, that's quite difficult because you've got people that have got in the car, travel down to you to come and have a look at what we've got, and then you're turning around and going, no, sorry, go away. And on
strange.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense, but it's trying to find a way to do it where we're keeping people safe. So on Saturday, we did change tack after an awful lot. I sat in the office for a good hour, sort of thinking, how can I change things slightly? Am I doing the right thing? Because are we losing business by turning potential customers away? They might not have been sort of going, this is specifically what I want, and I've made an appointment, and have just turned up and says, oh, we want to have a look around. Are we then deterring that customer by saying, oh, no, go away, look on the website and then ring us? So on Saturday, we changed it and we said, right, okay, if we've not got appointments and somebody turns up, we're going to allow people on. And that's what we started on Saturday, and it worked really, really well, to be fair. And we had a couple even that had just turned up on spec, didn't know what they wanted, and they ended up buying. So looking back, it was sort of, we've managed it well, I think. So
how was business?
Very good. Yeah, very good. We can't get enough stock. We're going to run out of stock. Definitely.
Did you go online on Monday for the BCA auction?
I certainly did, yeah, as you. You sort of, it gives you a good indication of what's going to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah. From a caravan point of view, what happened?
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Dealers were paying retail. They were paying $1,000, $2,000 over book. Sometimes we haven't got £2,000 profit.
Can I just stop you there, Mark? Can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
You've just said book there. What Mark means by book is, throughout our industry, we have a trade book, which what it does, it gives us the trade and retail of caravans and motorhomes. It's glasses.
Just very quickly. Most people call it a trade book.
Yeah, it's like a book.
It's like a book,
but it's a book.
It's a bit different.
Do you want to explain it then, Shane?
That's right.
The book is.
You tell me about
with a straight face.
We've got a Bible. Let's call it a Bible.
Down here. Right. So yeah, what it does, it gives us trade prices of this pamphlet. And it gives us trade and it gives us retail. On the caravan side, it's a very accurate guide. Do you say so, Mark?
Excellent. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Yeah.
Motorhomes is really sketchy, to be honest. If you do a search, because I've got the online version, but if you do a search of 5 motorhomes, you probably won't get 3 guides. Am I right there, Shane?
Yeah, that's right. And the prices don't always show any relevance to that van. No. And the other thing with motorhomes is some dealers will favour certain vans, and there could be as much as $4 or $5 grand in between what the book says and what another dealer will pay and what that dealer wants to pay.
If you want to see somebody have a rant in a bit, ask Aaron about the Glasses Guide.
Does he call it a book?
Book. How do you find the trade guide, Mark? On caravans. God.
Book. Should we just start calling it a book?
Yeah, we'll all call it a book.
We'll all just call it a book. Yeah, the book's very good to be fair. The book is very accurate. It's there is some vans that are slightly out, and
I've lost it. It's you. Sorry. Come on, this is serious. This is. People are interested.
So yeah,
There's a book on the book.
Get the comments in.
It's double O book.
It's a book.
It's a book.
Mark, do you often have to Luke in it?
I'm always having to Luke in the book.
What we on about?
So yeah, there are certain vans that are slightly out, but on the whole, they're pretty good. They're pretty close. But yeah, the retail price is sort of the recommended what we should sell in good condition, damp free, all fully serviced, warranted, and that's roughly what that sort of what we should be selling it at. There or thereabouts. Well, stuff through the auction last Monday was actually selling to dealers at retail or more than retail. So where do we go from there?
Do you know there's a big belief when you look through a load of social media groups that prices are going to come crashing down. People seem to think that they're going to be able to pick up really cheap caravans and motorhomes, and they're like, "You've got no chance. It's not going to happen."
No.
Maybe
It's speaking to a few car dealers as well, it's exactly the same in that game. They're rubbing their hands together at the moment because they're actually being able to pick the customer for the car rather than just begging for people to come in the showroom. You just can't, there's dealers that have sold stuff during the lockdown. Let's say they've sold 20 motorhomes during the lockdown. They've then sold another 20 in the first week. You just can't replace those at all.
That's when the problem then comes, is that sort of the next auction is going to be worse because it's everyone's going to be going, blimey, it has took off better than what we expected. So the prices are only going one way this year.
Did you buy anything from the auction?
We bought one. Yeah, we bought one.
What did you buy?
I'm not going to tell you that. No, it was a little freestyle, a Swift freestyle. Absolutely mint, and that is the problem with buying. It's all online, so you're taking a real punt at it, and it's literally you have got to pay for it. Before they'll let you on site, you've got to pay for it. So when you turn up at the auction, you could have bought the biggest bag of nails out there, and you're stuck with it. And I guarantee that some of the dealers ended up buying some real bags of horse manure.
It's hard to buy from an auction, Mark, if you can't be physically there, isn't it?
Luckily,
it's hard to buy from an auction full stock because you can't always drive them.
No,
especially on the motorhome side of things. But when you're just going off,
caravans don't have engines.
No, I know they don't. They have motor movers.
Yeah.
We could go down the road.
Luckily, we've got a. I don't really want to give my tip and trick away, but I've got a way to be able to buy certain vans. I've got nobody at the auction helping me at all, but I've got a way that I can buy certain vans and be 99% confident that it's going to be fine. And there was one van out of the whole auction that I was 99% sure that was going to be fine. It was a layout that we wanted, and it was sort of it's worth paying the extra money for. We're going to have real small margins on it now, but I'd rather have something to be able to sell than you can't sell fresh air, can you, sir?
No.
That's right.
Are you struggling to buy anything then, Mark?
We actually bought 6 last week. One was a helping hand from Shane. He passed a customer on to us.
Did we pass you one over last week?
You did, yeah. I think he was looking at buying a motorhome for some reason, and he wanted to get rid of his caravan. But yeah, I obviously didn't bid him enough on it. He wanted a bit more for it. So yeah, but Steve had phoned me, and yeah, cheers for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I obviously couldn't. We've still got to sell the stuff at the end of the day, so we're not going to give ridiculous money for stuff. Because again, 6 months' time, we could be sat with that same thing. If we go into lockdown next week, and we're in lockdown for the whole of summer, campsites don't open, then we're stuck with whatever we've bought now. I think it's very, very unlikely, but we've got to look at it on both aspects. We can't just go rose-tinted glasses and go, oh, yeah, we're going to sell 500 this year and everything's going to go through the doors and we can give ridiculous money for stuff. It's not good business.
No. Russ, there is, yeah. Russ just said, yes, true, Shane, but 20 in lockdown were probably cheaper than they are now. It's probably not a bad point. There might have been a few more discounts available in lockdown than there was after.
That's a great point, Alice.
I haven't really spoke to anybody who's done any discount on any motorhomes. Like, that's the price, you pay it. That's the level that everybody's at the moment.
You know the vans that you've sold, Mark, this last week, have they been coming in with the attitude of trying to knock you down because they think you're struggling, or have they not?
A bit of both. We've had some that have and some that haven't. And I think out of everything that we've done, we've given one a bit of a discount just because they were at the NHS workers, and it was sort of we should be sort of giving a little bit back here for everything that they've sort of done. Everyone's been sat at home doing nothing supposedly or supposed to have done for most of the lockdown. All the NHS staff have been out there working, haven't they? So I think that as businesses, we should sort of give a little bit back on that front.
So you've heard it here first. 75% off at Mark's Place if you work at the NHS. And have a look at the book.
We've just put them up on
Jason's offered to match that.
Yeah.
I'm closed next week.
You will be.
And why would I actually 90% off services?
At Mark's.
You can't do all in anymore.
Oh.
Just in case. Facebook.com/LB Caravan Services Limited. Yeah. Star Taylor at MB Motorhomes for a service and many 50k plus vans with sold signs in. And life beyond bricks, prices will not crash as there's not enough stock around to supply the normal demand, let alone the rise in popularity from the lockdown. I mean, Mark, are most of the people you sold, are they first-time buyers, or have they got part exchanges? Or
yeah, out of I think we've done 13. We're just waiting for finance on one van, but out of if I said 14 in total, 3 part X's.
Which is
out
low.
of those. So, yeah. Would normally be roughly 50%. So,
do you want to finish up these final comments, Shane? Then we can move on.
Yep. Can Mark? Yeah, go on. Can Mark give any advice on Vango warnings?
Yeah, they're decent. It's camper basically, isn't it, Vango? I think so. They're if it's the blow-up awnings, yeah, they're very good. They're expensive, but very good. And again, I like blow-up awnings. They're not going to have poles and do damage to the side of your caravan. So,
good point. Which you do get a lot of dinks when you get the normal motor, the normal awnings, don't you?
Yeah.
And you can't just pull them out. No. Russ Finn Spinnies have a sale on. I'm surprised at that. I bet they won't have it for long when they realise that they haven't got any stock to sell. But we'll see.
Is that a sale on old stock then?
Yeah, you'd have thought at the minute though, any you'd want to keep hold of everything, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
But some of the bigger dealers, if you imagine if they've got sort of 40 or 50 new waiting to go out, and they've got 30 Part X's on those, they've got a big bill to pay. So somehow they've got to get some money in. So
I think on the Part X side there, Mark, I think you're going to be offering a little bit more than what you would normally do because you're getting another van in, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. We'd tried to offer somebody today that was Part X in the caravan with somebody else, and we were trying to buy the Part X off them without save putting it in Part Exchange. Come and we'll give you a better price, basically. So we're into that territory at the moment.
Shall we bring the man on who's probably got the hardest job in the world at the moment in the motorhoming industry?
Probably has, yeah. Probably has.
Who, Kev?
And at this,
You go, Kev. Steve's on at last.
He finds it hard work, say job.
Hey, breaking his back he was the other week.
Okay, shall we bring in camperbuyer.com? And it's Aaron.
Yep, I'm just going to kick you out for a minute, Lee, because I don't think we'll all
fine.
fit on.
Yeah, try that.
Book,
Bye.
book, bye.
I'm going to read a book.
Good evening.
Evening.
How are you?
Did you see the motorhome auction?
I didn't. No, no, I didn't. But it's not surprising that things went crazy because you touched on it tonight. There's lack of stock, which is kind of like what I predicted on the first show. Can't remember rightly.
I thought you said we were going to all go downhill and nothing was going to sell.
No, but I did say that.
We were doomed.
Yeah,
I said there'll be a shortage of stock due to nobody's got the option to go abroad anymore, which is so they need to open up Europe, or else we are going to be in this predicament where there's just not enough stock. I'd say we are down by about 50% what we normally buy.
Are you finding it? What are you finding then? I'll just give it to us all.
Well, everything we buy doesn't even get through the door. It's sold straight away. We've got a couple of core customers that have been with us since the start, so they buy the lot. So they just come in and they go straight away. But the stock is just not out there. The volume is just not out there. It's but then most of the things we buy, we are buying from people that are giving up camping and they want to try Europe, but that option's not there. So the stock is just not available. And it won't be for some time. I need to open up Europe fully for this.
I think the other problem is that people have been able to sell it themselves for not far off what a dealer could sell it for at the minute as well. So it's
everybody needs a holiday. You know, you've gone through this biblical event where people have been in lockdown, and we're slowly coming out of it. And people, you know, they're relieved that it's getting close to being over and they want a holiday. So the last thing they've got to do is sell their motorhome or caravan because that's the only option they've got. It literally is the only option they've got. You know, they would love to go to Europe, they would love to go to Spain, but they can't do that now. But, you know, everybody needs escapism, especially the way things are at the moment. Everybody needs something to look forward to. And so that's the problem we're in. That, you know, and you got to think it's going to get worse. I mean, you can imagine in another month's time, if Europe's still shut, these dealers have sold half their stock. You could have empty forecourts everywhere. And nobody's going to, but the thing is, nobody's going to want to pay more money for the motorhome or caravans because at the end of the day, they've got costs, haven't they? Every dealership has got to find X amount of money. So they can't afford to pay X amount more for their motorhomes because it just can't. They've got to pay their bills. So, you know, the price of used motorhomes that we buy, you know, we're not paying that we did pre-lockdown. Are you?
I've just lost you there, Aaron.
Are you going to pay more?
We're giving a little bit more if you want to sell anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's almost turning towards like the car game at the moment, where it's volume more than the bigger margins is the best way to put it. But I just can't see it going away anytime soon. So I think we're going to have to pay a bit more. Because, this boom's going to carry on for a while, and then it's going to take another year or two to get those stock levels back up.
Because even if they open up Europe next month, that's the time that filters into our. The season's gone. This year's gone. So you just got to plan forward to next year. But it's just stock. And so, like I say, everything that we buy, it gets sold instantly before it's even. The engine is not even cold, and it's sold. And like I say, the volume's down 50-60% than what I normally do.
So there's an interesting point. So that means price to end user goes up. How far is it going to go?
Well, they certainly don't get any discounts.
No, of course you don't.
You might have been able
to a dealership now, and you try to knock the price down, they would laugh at you. They literally would laugh at you because why would they? Why would they? You just wouldn't. But it's interesting times. But this year is always going to be crazy, wasn't it? I mean, after no one, you could flick a coin how it would have went, and so once Europe's open next year, we just crack on and hopefully go back to normal.
So I take it, obviously, you're paying a bit more for yours now, Aaron.
Not really. I mean, it's difficult because you've got to have a bigger margin because you're selling less stock. So if you're paying more, it's counterproductive because you need that margin because every month you've got the X amount of expenses, and you need to cover those expenses. If you're selling less and you're paying more, the margins just.
You've got to charge more, don't you?
Yeah, no, we do. Yeah, we do charge a little bit more, but like I say, it's just the volume's down, and it's got to be like that. It's just got to be like that for the rest of the year, I think. Because even if they opened up Spain and Greece next month, it's still not going to make a jot of difference. People need something. People need a holiday. So
forgive my ignorance.
People are not spending their money.
Forgive my ignorance, Aaron. By biased and blinkered, how is opening up Europe going to make a difference if there is no stock anyway?
Because the vast majority of stock that I buy, that it's somebody they've tried out motorhoming, they've tried out caravanning. It's not quite for them, so they're going to go back to going abroad. They're going to go back to going to Spain or something like that. A lot of people had these. They buy their first motorhome and they try it out. It's just not for them, so they go back to going to Spain or something like that. A lot of people that buy a motorhome and have this. They want a fixed bed, but they change their mind until. You don't know until you've bought the vehicle, till you bought the caravan, whether you're going to like it or not. And, heck of a lot of stock we buy, people, they're just going back to going abroad. But that option's not there. And also, if you've got a choice where after you've gone through all of this coronavirus, you've got a choice of not going anywhere or going somewhere in a motorhome or caravan, you've got to go in a motorhome or caravan. You've got to keep what you've got. You're not.
Good point, that is, Aaron.
That's why the stock's not there.
Do covering overheads end up being paid by the customer?
Profit and loss, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't, because most dealers sell roughly the same amount every single month, roughly, give or take, 20%, I suppose. So you have to, in your mindset, you have to sell a certain amount to cover the costs. So do covering overhead ends up being, it doesn't really, because your price would be the same price regardless whether you're having a bad month or a good month, because you're not going to know if you've had a good month or a bad month until the end of the month. So your price would be the same. Your price would be the same.
Anything, Jay?
I'm looking at that question. Do covering overheads end up being paid by the customer? I guess they do, don't they? That's the idea. You need the customer.
The customer pays for everything. He pays for the.
Yeah.
you know,
It's
it
all
pays for everything.
profit and loss again, isn't it? If without selling things, we can't make a profit to pay the bills, and we don't end up with any profit or loss then. So
You know, everything. You know, it's I mean, customer pays for everything. You know, in Tesco's, it pays for their director's swimming pool, or you know, it pays for everything.
Would you say, Aaron, you're 50% down on what you're buying?
Yeah, yes. And we work on volume.
Yeah.
And also another extra cost we've got is that we are having to send 2 people to 1 van because my drivers are not going by public transport. So there's an additional cost there, whereby you know I'm not comfortable sending my staff by public transport. I'm just not. I know they can wear masks, etc., but I don't at the moment. I just don't feel comfortable sending them by public transport. So none of my staff have gone by train since the end of March, and I think they're going to be in place for at least a month. So if you're going for one motorhome, where before you would send them by train, and you can, if you book early, you can get a train ticket relatively cheap. Now I'm having to send 2 drivers, so it's an extra cost.
Yeah, I mean the problem is if somebody goes on a public transport and then catches the coronavirus, then you know they're not going to know till a few days later, and that's it. You're shut down for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no. There's a duty of care, isn't there? It's
yeah.
You always got to be aware as an employee. You've always got to be aware that you know there is a duty of care. That's why you know if it's a long distance job, they go on the next day. You're going to try and make that relatively local because you don't want to burn them out. So and the duty of care for me is not to send them on public transport while there's a risk that you know they can catch this virus. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So there's extra cost there, but you know I'm not complaining. We knew early on that this year it's going to be not written off, but it's going to be interesting. And you know it's great that the market is so buoyant, but you know they're going to run out of stock. The stock is just not there, and I just hope that next year it just all goes back to a degree of normality, which I think it will.
Great point there by Teresa.
Yeah, well done, Aaron. Thank you for thinking of your staff.
It's just don't get me on the glasses guy. Just don't mention it.
We'll do that after this question to you. A question I've been meaning to ask for some time. Will the German decision of rebanning diesels from cities affect prices for diesels in Europe in the future and then possibly undermine prices for left-hand drives?
It won't undermine prices for left-hand drives, but the diesels, I think that's at least 10 years ahead. I don't think it's going to affect prices at the moment. It's coming. We touched on it on the first podcast. It's electric, but I think we're at least 10 years away. I think at least 10 years away. So I don't think it's going to make any difference. It's not. And you've got to think Europe's a massive place. I mean, most people that travel to Europe, they like to go to Spain, they go to France. So there's lots and lots of options in Europe. Lots and lots. So I don't think it's going to make a jot of difference. Smaller dealers going bust. And everyone said, no, I can't. Not the way things are at the moment. No way.
It's just whether we have to run out of stock, isn't it? And then if you've got nothing to sell, you can't pay your overheads again. But it's just about
managing. The smaller dealer, the chances are you've got very small overheads, haven't you? You've got, I don't know. It depends how small they are, and it depends what kind of capital they've got in place. But yeah, it's just finding the stock. That's the issue.
I mean, smaller nobody. I mean, as long as dealers have got the stock, they're probably having the best spell they've ever had. Yeah. As Gary said earlier from Forefront, what did he say? Record week, 22 in a week.
Yeah, I could well believe it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I've got customers that are coming in to me that I just said I can't help you. I can't. I've got my core customers that I deal with all the time, and they're priority. But my premises looks half empty because, like I say, as soon as they come in, they're sold. They're just sold, but it's just the volume's just not there.
We've got a compound that we can fit about 30 vans in at the moment. There's not one in there.
We touched on it
But
too.
most people say it's a good position to be in, but it's not really, because we're going to run out of stock.
Yeah.
Because your rent's still going to be the same. Your wages is still going to be the same, and that it's great. Ride this wave, but it's going to be a very, very small wave that's going to flatten out very, very soon. So this year you just got to sell what you can for how much you can, and then just concentrate on next year. Look forward to next year.
Yep. Life beyond bricks. Do you think European motorhome and caravan manufacturers will cancel their normal holiday shutdowns to try and catch up with lost capacity during the demand?
I don't, because I think their orders must be way down, mustn't they?
No, well, they can't get them out, can they? There's people waiting from October that still haven't got the vans.
Yeah.
And that's before you get the 21 models coming out.
You spent all of that money and you just want to use your motorhome, but I don't know. This year's just all over the place, isn't it? So it is just all over the place. But thankfully, the news is looking promising every single week. I mean, we had 70. He was in the double figures for the first time. So it's all positive. But by the time it filters to us, the season's going to be pretty much over. So we just have to concentrate on next year. I actually think the end of the year will be quite busy for us. I think the end of the year,
yes,
if they do, I think it'll be. I think normally November, December goes quiet. I think it's actually going to be quite busy for us.
Yeah, I do as well for two reasons. One, because I think people will. I can't see anybody going abroad at Christmas time, or give or take. And I think there'll still be people wanting to go away over here. And I think it's just going to keep that season going until next year. And then there's the other side of it where motorhome dealers, caravan dealers, still got to carry on buying because they need to replenish.
Are we going to see people, if say November, everyone starts travelling abroad again, are we going to see a big surge of all the stock that's being bought at the moment coming back into the market, where people go, oh, well, we tried that. We had our holidays in the UK, but we can go abroad now. So are we going to see a big surge of stock at the end of the year? Come back?
Probably. Yeah, you would. You would.
Which
it will. It will. I think just next year it will we'll get back to some degree of normality because at the moment it's just all over the place, isn't it? It really, really is. And there'd be a heck of a lot of people that will literally just been buying a caravan, buying a motorhome just for this year, just for like September or October, just to go away somewhere. But their preference is Spain. Their preference is Greece. And so there'll be a heck of there'll be lots of stock at the beginning of next year. It's just now at the moment it's just we're really, really low. But let's face it, this could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? We could have. That's okay. It's not great. It's not ideal, and it's going to get worse as the weeks progress. But it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. Like I was very doom and gloom, and I predicted that.
You wasn't.
Can't imagine that.
But so it's. I mean, it's good that the buyers are out there, but it's just bad that the stock's not. So it swings it round about, isn't it?
I think the key here as well is if you think about it at the moment, we're here and the prices are going up. The key is to know just when not to get caught with a load of stock when they're up here, Aaron. I think that's the one.
Yeah, it's definitely a balance because you also want to carry on supplying that demand. A bit like this comment below. Surely, if the vans are going off the shelf like hot bricks, then the price increase. I think they do short term. But you just, like you said, you just got to get that level right. Make sure just make sure you don't. The dealers need to make sure they don't make too many mistakes. But the good thing about motorhomes is they don't tend to drop much year on year anyway, so it's not a massive gamble. You can sometimes have the motorhome for 3 years on the forecourt and it won't lose any money.
And also these customers that would have gone to Spain or Greece and have bought a motorhome, they may get the bug and then they may upgrade their motorhome. So there's so many connotations in this that but I think we'll be all right. I think it's going to be not tough times ahead in the next couple of months. I just think there's going to be a lack of stock, which will be frustrating. But I think that's it. And I think after that, I think we'll be fine. I think all dealers will be fine. I think there'll be customers find a new love for motorhoming and caravanning, and and it gets back to normal. It just gets back to normal.
I feel like Aaron's a new person. He's back to work. There's a little bit of positivity about him.
Was that positive?
Well, it could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? This could have been.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. It's amazing really, what's happening right now.
It is, and it's just a case of people they've just got used to it now, haven't they? They've got used to keeping that far apart. They've just got used to it. There will be a core of people that'll be too scared to go out forevermore because that's just their nature. But I think most people will be just so relieved that it is over. Their sense of relief means let's buy that motorhome, let's buy that caravan, let's tour Europe, let's tour Scotland, life's for living. So
I think people are going to have a different aspect on life now, aren't they?
And they should.
Yeah.
This is giving you a little snapshot of how fragile life is.
Well, you look at some of the YouTubers we've had on; they're quite inspirational, aren't they? Really?
No, it is those pictures. I looked at those pictures. Wow. I mean, that's because I always say you need to fill your life with episodes you look back to, and God, those pictures. That's. I always remember we sold a old Mercedes Auto Trail to 3 girls. They were going to tour the whole of Europe. I just thought, wow, what an adventure that will be. They're taking 3-4 months off just to go around Europe in a Auto Trail motorhome. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm too old.
Yeah, I know. Mark Hill, can you see the government putting up fuel and vehicle tax prices up to compensate COVID costs? I think it's going to happen. They can't
I don't know where
they
need to find this. What is that? 136 billion. They've got to find it from somewhere. So us guys need to prepare for VAT because that's going to go up, I'm sure. Yeah. They've got to find that money from somewhere. So fuel, vehicle taxes, all of the above. It's. I mean, hopefully they take a little bit. They take a little bit from everywhere, so it's not such a massive impact. But we are paying for this somehow.
They've got to let business get back on the feet first, haven't they?
Yeah. I think they'll hold back for a year, actually.
At least,
Yeah, because you'd be kicking someone when they're down, won't you? If you increase VAT.
Are they not talking about minus interest rates now to try and stimulate?
So low. They're so. I mean, it's interesting. With this bounce back loan for 50,000, they are literally giving those away like candy.
Yeah,
I know a couple of dealers. It is 5 or 6 questions, and then bosh, you've got £50,000 in your account.
And some of them you don't even have to.
No,
so you don't have to talk to anybody. It's just you answer 5-6 questions on the website, on the bank website, and it says we'll have that in your bank account the next day.
And I've heard of another dealer that phoned me. Some unscrupulous people. They've got no intention of paying that back.
No.
They've got no intention. And I spoke to my business relationship manager, and he said that bounce back loan is purely if you've got a cash flow problem. That's if you're going into your overdraft. You need. He says he knows companies that have got £4 million in their account that are applying for this £50,000 loan. So there's a heck of a lot of people that are taking advantage. It's all great. You get £50,000, but we've all got to pay for it. We've got to pay for it.
There's a lot of businesses who are in trouble have been helped out by this government who would have gone anyway.
The furlough scheme was brilliant. I've still got, because the schools are off, I've still got 2 members of the staff that are furloughed, which is frustrating for me because even though I'm sure Aaron's beard's got longer since the last visit, so I just noticed that. But even though the company's not busy. I'm personally very busy because the admin side is, still off on furlough. So I need the schools to go back.
Yep. Biased and blinkered, what sort of percentages of motorhomes or caravans are sold in what seasons? So as a guess, 40% in the spring, 30% in the summer, etc. There's probably one for you, Mark, more than anybody.
Yeah, we see from January all the way through to November, a fairly steady. January can be up and down, and then we'll have a few other months throughout the year that will be a bit up and down, but it's fairly steady all the way through. December's the only month that we sort of go, we're writing December off. We're not planning on selling anything. If we do, it's a bonus. But yeah, the rest of the year, it's fairly steady. I'd say it's sort of spread throughout the other 11 months. As I say, a few where you'll get up and down slightly. We'll have good months and bad months, but that will change. And probably over the last 3 years, you used to be able to look at it and go, right, we're going to sell this many this week or this many this month. The last 3 years, it's been so up and down and sort of all over the shop that you can't write down anymore what's going to happen.
I think it was either last year or the year before. June was our worst month.
July last year, we had a shocker, absolute shocker.
Yeah. January, February, and March is always the busiest time for us.
Yeah. Gary Squire, a lot of people will book static sites this year if the weather's good, then think about motorhomes, caravan stays in this country. I mean, it's something I think I've said previously. The European manufacturers cannot understand why there's so few motorhomes and caravans per head in this country compared to the rest of Europe. They really can't get their head around that, and maybe we might just catch up. Hopefully the sites catch up with the European sites, because that's where we are a bit behind.
Oh, no, we are way behind on those. Behind.
Ross Finn, people working full-time go abroad for the weather, and the fastest way is flying, but maybe if they enjoy caravanning, motorhoming, maybe they realise they can go away more weekends for more breaks.
You've always got to get a core people that would just prefer to go to Spain or Portugal.
It's our weather, isn't it? If we've got brilliant weather, nobody go anywhere else.
But they it's like the swimming pool. It's just so. This is why it's so busy now, because that option's just not there, and people just really need somewhere to escape after all of this. So so that's why it is so busy at the moment, and that's why there's not much stock. So it's not really a bad thing, but it's So.
Do you think the caravan season might carry on through winter after all this?
I think we're going to have a really busy end of year. I think we're going to have a really, really busy end of year. I really, really do. Because you got to get a lot of people. This is their first motorhome or first caravan, because they can't go abroad. They're going to try it, and they may not like it, so they're going to be sending their stock at the end of the year. So
we've sort of planned our year up to about September, and we're going to wait and see what happens after that. At the minute,
I think next year will be okay. I think next year will be.
Definitely be better again. It's just price wise, what's going to happen after September.
The good thing is people are still spending, and the more money people spend, the more the world goes around.
Well, especially as that. As well, it's benefiting us, and it's getting that loan paid back, isn't it? Then,
yeah, that's right.
With that feel-good factor that they're relieved that I've got through it, and wow, let's just go abroad. Let's not go abroad. Let's just buy a motorhome. Let's do this, do that. So it's.
I think as a dealer, mate, with a forecourt, especially Mark, I think it's really keep it lean and green. To be honest, lean and mean, just not build, just keep it at a nice level, and then just wait for it to stabilize itself back out again.
It's also just keeping, just be aware not too much heavy stock, expensive stock, because you could easily have you're ashamed to know, you can have a couple of motorhomes, 3 or 4 motorhomes, and that's £250,000. It's and if you've got those and the market drops, potentially you could lose quite a bit of money. So but then you just got to, it won't just happen. It will be a gradual thing, and you'd be able to see how the market goes.
That's where normally the auction's really good to come in, because that gives you an idea of how it's going to go. The market is.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. It does. Yeah. But whether there's any more auctions, I don't know. It's,
There's certainly going to be the Black Horse ones after that.
Yeah.
It's anybody's guess and when.
It's going to just be all over the country again. We've got a few Glasgow and Bedford, and it's going to be spread all the way through, isn't it? It's not just going to be Nottingham online and pick it up from wherever it is.
You need somebody else to do it. You need someone with the enthusiasm that actually wants to do it, as opposed to have to do it.
There's a big gap in the market now to set up an auction.
But it's expensive. I mean, you're looking at, you need at least $500,000.
I'll tell you where there is a big gap in the market. Start converting your own vans. Jeffrey Wilson.
It's not easy to convert a van. People think it is. It's not. There's a heck of a lot involved. But price? Do you think the price of motorhomes conversions? I don't think it will. What home, like somebody's converted themselves?
Not sure. Do you think the price of motorhomes and vans for conversion will rise this year?
I think it would always be the case that it needs to be a factory converted motorhome. If it's not, then the price needs to reflect that quite drastically.
I think the biggest problem people are going to have with converting their own vans is getting the parts, because the supply chain's gone at the moment. Because obviously a lot of the parts come from China and so on. They've not filtered through. There's been people's vans that have sat there for 3 months without being able to get to them, and that's also going to be the problem that people don't really think about.
You cannot. It's not easy to register your van as a motorhome now, where before you just contact the DVLA, send them a few pictures, and it's a motor caravan. But now they've caught on to that, and now it's like a minibus with windows. They've changed it to or something. So, which in turn will affect the insurance you can buy, etc. So it's not easy.
Great comment there, Shane.
Yep.
Part of the fun of caravanning and motorhoming, relaxing with a glass of wine, a game of Scrabble or a book, and watching the rain cascading down the windows. Can't beat that, Teresa.
But if you're a person that's used to going to Benidorm, they're going to think, oh, come on, Beryl, we can't do this. Next year, so this caravan, we're going back to Benidorm.
Bison Blinkered, I'm looking to do a conversion of a VW Crafter this year, looking to take 9 months part-time. And just what I said a minute ago, just check for supply of parts. That's what you could have an issue with. And
also buy a low mileage one. I'm always surprised when I see people convert something that's they're bought with high miles. You're on a negative straight away. If you're going to take all of that effort to convert something, that's got decent mileage, it's in decent condition, because otherwise you're spending a heck of a lot of time, effort and money on something that's got to be devalued. The fact it's got 200,000 miles on the clock. So if you're going to do it, find something with low miles.
Well, we can all sit here and moan about how the prices are all going up and how we've got to pay more money for everything and whatnot, but let's look at it from another point of view. We're all fit, we're all healthy, and we're all in a great position, to be honest. So
it could have been a heck of a lot worse.
Yeah.
And the first show, I was the Grim Reaper.
But we're in a great position. We've got a lot of interest in our market. Everybody wants to buy a motorhome and caravan. Yes, we're going to have to pay a bit more money for them, but it's got to even itself out.
You've also just got to accept that what we know, June, July, August, September. You're not going to sell that many because you're not going to have that many to sell. So it's
I just need to interrupt you quickly. What's Lee doing here?
Reading a book.
What's your book?
It's a National Trust 2020 handbook.
Let's have a look.
Do you want to look?
Yeah, I want to look.
What's your thoughts on the industry, Lee?
Personally, from my side of things, it's going to be, I think, very busy for the rest of the year. People are really itching to get out. a lot of people have gone to all year round caravanning, motorhoming now anyway, and I think this year will be even busier for the back end of what most people class as end of season and pack them away. I think a lot of people will carry on through the colder months now this year, and I think it will get very busy.
I think one good thing is on the motorhome side of things, which I was talking to somebody about the other day, is there are a lot more manufacturers getting involved in the 3.5 ton max weight, which for all those people that passed after 97, he just brings them into the market. But that's only really been recent years that they've started to do that.
Yeah,
So
there is. I mean, I've noticed since I've started that from when I first got going, all right, I'm a lot busier now, but the age of customers that I had when I first started to what I've got now has come down drastically. So you have got a lot of younger people now with young families. I mean, this pandemic has caused issues. I've noticed the previous last few years with, terrorism and things like that, people have been reluctant to take young families abroad. So they've stayed over here, they've bought caravans, they've bought motorhomes, and have been, staying in the UK.
Yep, fair point. Just a question from Biased and Blinkard. I've grown to have a love of the motorhome industry. Any pointers on how I can find employment in it? I think the best answer for that is what do you want to do in the industry? Obviously, you've got the likes of me and Aaron who do the buying. You've got Jason and Mark who do the selling. You've got Lee that does the servicing. There's plenty of options.
I feel like a rose between two thorns.
I thought we was going to start a boy band. So everyone's going to start singing in a minute.
There's a question for everybody. What would you call the band?
The has-been.
I can't say because I'm keeping it clean.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
We are lurking through the books to see what sites to book. The book. How's next week, Aaron? Have you got many to pick up? What's your plans? How's it going?
I think we've got about 7. I think I'm married. No, it's okay. It's all good. But also, when you're going to buy something where normally you wouldn't buy it because maybe there's issues. Now you probably are just to get something in. It's So it's So we in the low, it's got about 6 or 7, but that sounds a lot. But for us, it's way down for us.
Lee Parker, Air Valley Campers. Great show, guys. We have sold 14 out of 16 motorhomes, which was prepped and ready to go last week. 8 buyers new to motorhomes. Yep,
that's it.
Yep.
And those 8 buyers, probably half of those are want to sell those at the beginning of next year because they want to go back to going to Spain. So I think probably next year will be lots of stock next year.
Looks like Air Valley have only got 2 motorhomes left.
Yeah.
There will be in a couple of months' time. There'll be dealerships that would look like they've gone bust because they'll just be empty.
We need to have on each of the shows now, Shane. We need to have a ticker by the side with all the different companies and see how they're going down or up. So we'd have Air down to 2. And have a little.
Yeah. Russ, fine being 3,500 kilos, but weights are not always true due to what's been fitted.
I've read so many comments where people are amazed when they've gone to a weighbridge, how far over they are. Absolutely amazed.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much. You put yourself in there, you put fuel, you put water, you put the dogs, you put the furniture. Cook Street.
Book.
It's Book.
Yeah, Teresa, you caught me out there. I thought I'd gone smooth over it, but no, I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to say it. But yeah, that's that's a great name, the Book Street Boys.
Are we wrapping up then, Shane? 2 hours 10 minutes. That's
Yep.
the longest one now, isn't it?
It's the longest one.
Right. Thanks very much, Mark, and thanks again, Aaron.
I'm glad we didn't touch on Glasses Guide because that.
No, let's just stop because everybody will enjoy this. Just give us your opinion on the Glasses Guide, the trade book or book that we'll look into.
Like Mark said, with caravans, it's okay. It is pretty much there. Personally, I think price is middle dinette, a little bit high, and maybe some two bursts, but all in all, it's pretty much there. On motorhomes, it is dangerous and it costs a fortune. And I have confronted the people at the auction that are there, and I have spoke to them on the phone. Some of them are just so far out. If we gave quotes of what the Glasses book says, their own name would be mud. You have a Bessicon at 08 and the Glasses book price will be £12,000. And yet you'll have a CI, which is a much cheaper brand, and the book price would be 16,000. You might as well flick a coin when it comes to the motorhome prices on there. It is nonsense. And I've flagged it up to them countless times, and they have the audacity to charge what they charge. Is outrageous. I mean, it's just nonsense. But with the caravans, it's okay. But motorhomes, and they're overpriced as well, so there's no consistency. So what that means is I can't have a holiday. I can't have a weekend away, because if I get somebody else to quote prices, they could be buying something I'm going to lose money, or they could be damaging the brand because they're offering something that's £10,000 less than what it should be. So there's my rant.
Plus, half of them aren't even guided in it as well, are they?
No, I know. Yeah, but I understand it because there's so many connotations of motorhomes, so many different models. But get your basics right. Get your auto trails, your Vesicas, your Ace. Get the basics right. You know, I mean, I've showed you, haven't I? I've showed you countless times, Jason. I've taken screenshots and said, look at this nonsense. A 2009 symbol, and they're quoting £13,000 as a book price, and yet they're marked up for £28,000. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Somebody just commented about cap, that it's better. There isn't a cap for motorhomes, is there? There's only the Glasses Guide. And
also, what are they doing at the auction?
Yeah, you shouldn't be writing down price. You shouldn't be writing down prices from auction.
That's their guide. You've got two guys at the auction, so there could be a Swift Contiki on a 2008 that's got half of it's full of damp, half of it stinks of dog, and that goes for £10,000 less. Oh, that must be the book price now. It's ridiculous.
You don't like
fan of it then?
Sorry, I'm not a fan. And funny enough, when I'm at the auction, they avoid me. They see me.
They do.
Should we get them? Should we get them on next time? And get an Aaron and just don't tell them.
We just don't tell them Aaron's on.
Yeah, but Shane, I'm not wrong.
Shane, Aaron's completely right. With the amount of conversations we've had, and we've rang one another up and gone, is this really true, what they're quoting this price? And it's so funny when they're at the auction, they run the other way when they see Aaron coming along. But in fairness, he's only trying to help and be right with them, and they've never once got back to him either.
No.
I thought he was going to say then, but in fairness, most people do.
But yeah, because the subscription's up for renewal and they keep phoning me up. I said I need somebody to phone me back. I said forget your park your caravans. That's pretty much okay. I need somebody. They never do. So you know, I don't know. It's just.
We've got a few comments here. A couple of comments about start your own valuations. How do Shane and Jason do their pricing? Basically, every single van that's gone through the auction for the last fair few years, I keep a record of, so I know every single price that's gone through. So that helps with pricing. Shane?
Yeah, there's a bit of that, and then you have a look at the Glasses Guide. You have a look at what they're online for, and magic happens, and then you write down a
And
price.
also, it's experience. It's experience. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you saw these things day in, day out. I mean, I'd say about 70% of them you see time and time again. So you know when people find out for a quote, no, I know. I have this funny thing where I'll be driving it and a motorhome will come back the opposite way. As long as I can see the registration number, I see what year it is, I know exactly how much it's worth.
Yes.
It's only when you've got different deathlisses, you've got different Frankias, that's ones you need to do the research. But it's just experience. But you do refer to the classes guide, you do, and time and time again you think, I cannot quote that. How on earth can I quote that? It's just, I think there's a heck of a lot of people out there that will be very, very, very upset and how much their motorhome is being booked at by Glasses Guide.
Yeah. Anything else, Shane?
No, I think we've answered pretty much everything. Like you said, it's the longest show at 2 hours, 15 minutes and 42 seconds.
Well, we've had Positive Aaron on today. He's had his rant.
I'm still shocked.
He's got it all out of his system.
Well, thank you for my rant.
We're now a boy band called the Buko Book. Oh, the Book Street Boys.
That's the one, the Book Street Boys.
Right, well,
I like the
very
boys bit. It suggests youthfulness.
Right, well, thanks very much. Oh, hang on, just that last comment there, Gemma Young.
What's the enterprise? No, that one. No.
Oh no.
Well done, guys and Kat. Great light humour in these times. For 40 years using the Glasses Guide of the motor trade. Keep up your humour. Good luck, and with all for the future. Really kind of you. Good way to finish off then, eh, Shane?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Thank you for watching again.
Are we on next week?
Yes.
We're on next week, aren't we? Who have we got on?
I don't know, you tell me. Who have we got on? We've got Lee.
Oh, Lee's on, yeah.
Yeah.
Might be.
I think we've got Collapse on next week.
Okay.
Collapse, the Collapse products. And we better go find a YouTuber, shall we find? Anybody on YouTube wants to come on, if you could just follow me on Twitter. Wake up.
Come on, Shane.
Caravans and Campers at SY45RP or Instagram at the Motorhome Man, or you can email us.
themotorhomeshow@gmail.com. And don't forget that if you do want to listen back to the show or the previous shows, the Motorhome Show is also on podcast.
Yes, and this week's podcast is an etiquette in speaking. So yeah, anybody wants to come on next week, we need to find a YouTuber for next week, don't we, Shane?
Yes, we do.
And then hopefully probably once a month chatting to Mark and Aaron on a catch up in the business.
Yep. See how the Motorhome and Caravan world's going from different angles.
Yeah. Okay, and we'll see you all next week.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.